Let's think about what truly happens when you stop chasing women, not just in terms of romantic interests, but how you engage your mind, your time, and your values. In our world, there's this underlying belief that personal value is tied to external validation, especially from romantic partners. But what if you detached from that belief? What if, instead of prioritizing pursuit, you began focusing inward, re-examining the real sources of meaning and satisfaction in your life? The ancient Stoics believed in pursuing self-control and wisdom, not as a way to impress others, but to cultivate internal peace. By stepping back from the chase, you make a powerful choice to live by your values, setting your own standard for fulfillment and happiness. When you stop pursuing relationships purely for attention or ego, you'll notice a profound change in your state of mind. You're no longer playing games or seeking external validation. In doing this, you start to see how much time you've spent trying to win approval rather than investing in yourself. Time and mental energy are limited resources. Stoicism emphasizes that we should use these wisely, investing in actions and thoughts that align with our personal growth. Rather than wondering how someone else perceives you, think about how you perceive yourself. Are you content with the person you're becoming? Do your values match your actions? When you stop chasing, you free yourself from external pressure to act in ways that aren't true to your nature. This liberates you to cultivate deeper confidence, the kind that comes from living authentically rather than in response to someone else's approval. You also gain clarity. It's incredible how often we get lost in others' expectations or desires, forgetting who we truly are or what we actually want. By no longer seeking attention from women or letting that pursuit drive you, you remove a distraction, allowing yourself to reconnect with what matters most to you. This clarity sharpens your focus on your goals and opens up more time for things that genuinely fulfill you. It's a common experience that when people stop focusing so much on finding external admiration, they're able to unlock potential they didn't know they had. Their energy is directed inward, and they finally start building the life they truly desire, free from the influence of temporary approval. Then there's the question of your values. When you step back from a constant chase, you have the opportunity to redefine what matters to you independently. Are you chasing because society told you to, because it's expected, or because there's a deeper, true desire for companionship and connection? The Stoics taught that external things, whether relationships, wealth, or status, are largely out of our control. We can influence them to a degree, but they are ultimately not guaranteed or consistent sources of happiness. Internal attributes like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline are the qualities we can control, and they're the only real sources of lasting satisfaction. Letting go of the chase doesn't mean you reject connection or relationships. It simply means you stop letting them drive you. You become aware that while relationships can be beautiful, they're not the only or even the most reliable sources of fulfillment. This leads to a healthier relationship with yourself and, consequently, with others. When you stop seeking validation from outside sources, you begin attracting people who appreciate you as you are, not for what you're trying to be. Ironically, when you're not chasing, you're often more attractive because you're grounded in a stronger sense of self, unaffected by the ups and downs of others' opinions. As you continue on this path, you'll also experience a growing sense of self-respect. Every day, you're making a choice to live by principles rather than impulses. When you're no longer swayed by the need for external validation, you become more selective in your relationships and interactions. You start building friendships and connections based on genuine mutual respect and understanding rather than surface-level attraction or societal expectation. The Stoics believed in living a life of virtue and integrity, which means cultivating the kind of respect for oneself that doesn't waver, regardless of how others view you. By choosing not to chase, you're choosing a path of self-respect where you hold yourself to the standards you've set, not those set by others. Freedom is another gift that comes from this choice. Imagine waking up without the subtle anxiety that comes from wondering who's interested or available. When you stop chasing, you experience freedom from the cycle of constant comparison and evaluation. You're not analyzing, you're not strategizing, you're simply living. This freedom allows you to invest time in activities and pursuits that genuinely bring you joy and satisfaction. You're not concerned with external judgments, which means you're free to focus on what aligns with your values. This is the essence of a Stoic life, to live without unnecessary disturbance, seeking peace and purpose over fleeting pleasures or validation. There's also something deeply empowering about no longer feeling as though you need to be picked or chosen. You recognize your worth independent of others' attention or approval. This mindset is liberating because you realize you have value in and of yourself, not because of anyone's perception of you. When you are secure in this knowledge, you're no longer in a place of lack or neediness. Instead, you're operating from a sense of abundance, of being whole as you are. This changes everything because you're no longer driven by the urge to prove yourself or win someone over. You're calm, grounded, and you experience a unique sense of inner peace. Through these shifts, you're no longer bound by fleeting desires. You develop a more profound sense of purpose, recognizing that life is finite and valuable, and that each moment matters. Instead of chasing, you're cultivating inner growth, wisdom, and self-control, which makes you resilient to the distractions that once seemed so essential. In this process, you find a new depth of self-fulfillment that doesn't waver based on external circumstances. By letting go of the chase, you're no longer swayed by temporary highs or lows, because you've chosen a path of substance, a path defined by who you are, rather than by the fleeting allure of others' attention. As this journey continues, you begin to appreciate the power of solitude. When you're not constantly looking outward for fulfillment, solitude becomes a space for growth rather than loneliness. You find moments of stillness where you can reflect, recharge, and reconnect with yourself. This quiet time becomes the source of your strength. Instead of seeing solitude as something to be avoided, you begin to treasure it, finding that it sharpens your mind, builds your resilience, and helps you better understand your own values and aspirations. The Stoics emphasize that being alone with our thoughts is a sacred opportunity to cultivate wisdom, to become more self-aware, and to develop a sense of inner calm. This detachment from the chase gives you an edge, not only emotionally, but also mentally. You're training yourself to focus on things you can control: your actions, your intentions, your mindset. When you're not distracted by the highs and lows of chasing, you have more room to grow your intellect, to build skills, and to become a more rounded individual. You stop relying on other people's approval to feel good about yourself. Instead, you find confidence in knowing that your worth is self-defined, rooted in your character and actions. This clarity of purpose allows you to channel your energy into meaningful projects and pursuits. With each day, you're developing qualities that make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges of life. Another transformation that takes place is an increase in self-discipline. By consciously deciding not to chase, you're exercising control over your desires and impulses. Instead of reacting to every fleeting attraction or validation-seeking impulse, you're training your mind to be steady, intentional, and calm. This self-discipline spills over into other areas of your life as you become more committed to your goals and more resilient to distractions. You develop a steady inner strength, grounded in the knowledge that you are living according to your values, rather than being swayed by external temptations. As your discipline grows, you start to see just how much power you have over your life, realizing that real freedom comes from control over your own mind. Interestingly, this journey also changes how you experience relationships when they do arise. Without the constant pressure of chasing or seeking, you become more present and authentic in your interactions. You're not trying to impress or win someone over. Instead, you're showing up as yourself, fully aware of your worth and uninterested in pretense. This genuine approach fosters deeper, more meaningful connections. People sense your authenticity, your grounded nature, and your self-confidence, which often leads to more fulfilling relationships. When you're no longer consumed by the need for approval, you're able to appreciate others for who they are rather than for what they can offer you in terms of validation. With time, you also notice a deeper sense of gratitude for your own life. You realize that fulfillment doesn't come from someone else, but from a profound appreciation for what you already have and what you're capable of building. This gratitude makes your days more fulfilling, allowing you to find contentment in simple moments and small victories. You're no longer comparing yourself to anyone else's journey, and this brings a profound sense of peace. You find joy in the process rather than in the pursuit, savoring the small moments that make life meaningful. In letting go of the chase, you also start seeing your own potential in a new light. When you're not distracted by external pursuits, you become more attuned to your unique talents, goals, and dreams. You're able to cultivate a sense of direction based on what truly resonates with you, rather than what you think might attract others. This self-alignment brings a new depth of motivation and drive. You find that you're no longer working to impress or to gain favor. Instead, you're pursuing a life that is meaningful to you, that reflects who you are and what you value. This alignment of action and values becomes the foundation of a genuinely fulfilling life. Over time, your life becomes a reflection of the values you hold dear, rather than a reaction to fleeting desires or external expectations. When you're no longer chasing, you're free to live with purpose, peace, and integrity. This is the essence of what the Stoics taught, the pursuit of a life rich in virtue, wisdom, and self-respect, unburdened by the need for constant external affirmation. This journey also brings with it a powerful shift in emotional stability. By no longer chasing external approval or relationships for validation, you're naturally more resilient to disappointment and rejection. Without the constant highs and lows that come from relying on others' responses, your emotional state becomes steadier, less easily influenced by what's happening around you. You cultivate an inner calm that isn't easily shaken. This stability is liberating because it allows you to handle challenges with a clear mind, to face setbacks without panic, and to recover from disappointments with a sense of purpose. This is what the Stoics described as tranquility, a life of enduring peace maintained by inner strength rather than external circumstances. As this tranquility deepens, your perspective on life's challenges transforms. When you're no longer chasing, you begin to see every moment as an opportunity for growth and self-mastery. Instead of viewing difficulties as setbacks, you recognize them as chances to exercise resilience, patience, and wisdom. Without the need to prove yourself to anyone, challenges become personal learning experiences rather than burdens. When a situation tests your patience or tempts you toward impulsivity, you respond with discipline, calmly choosing actions that align with your principles. Each time you do this, you're reinforcing a cycle of inner peace and strength. It's a cycle that builds on itself, making you more grounded with each passing day. In embracing this path, you also start to notice that you're naturally attracting people who share your values and respect your boundaries. By not projecting a need for validation, you invite others to respect you for who you are, rather than who you're trying to be. When you're centered in your own life, living authentically, the people who come into your world do so because they are drawn to your genuine self. These relationships tend to be healthier, founded on mutual respect and appreciation rather than on superficial attraction or temporary approval. You become surrounded by individuals who value your presence and add meaning to your life, rather than by those who merely inflate your ego. This inner transformation also extends to how you view time. Without the endless cycle of seeking and proving, you start to see time as a gift, an opportunity to deepen your skills, explore your interests, and make meaningful contributions. You stop spending hours worrying about how you're perceived or trying to impress. Instead, you channel that time into pursuits that build your knowledge, health, and happiness. Each day becomes more valuable as you focus on things that genuinely fulfill you. This respect for time aligns beautifully with Stoic teachings, which remind us that life is short and precious, meant to be lived fully rather than squandered on meaningless pursuits. With this newfound respect for time and purpose, you experience a sense of fulfillment that isn't dependent on anyone else. You learn to savor the simple joys in life, quiet moments, fulfilling work, and the satisfaction of knowing you're on a path that feels true. When you're not chasing, your days are lighter, filled with purpose rather than with the weight of expectations. You find a deeper connection to the present moment, appreciating life for what it is rather than what it might bring in terms of validation. This presence allows you to be grateful, to find beauty in the ordinary, and to cultivate a life that is satisfying in its simplicity. Ultimately, by choosing to stop chasing, you step into a life that reflects your values, guided by inner purpose and a commitment to personal growth. You become the architect of a fulfilling life, one that isn't shaped by external pressures, but by a dedication to living authentically and wisely. This path isn't always easy, but it brings a profound sense of freedom, peace, and self-respect that makes every step worth it. It's a journey where the reward is not in the outcome, but in the person you become along the way, fully aware, fully present, and fully at peace with yourself. As you settle into this path, something profound begins to take root, a sense of contentment and self-worth that is unwavering. When you're not measuring your happiness against others' opinions or looking to anyone else for validation, you start to recognize the immense value in just being. There's a quiet, unshakable satisfaction that grows within, a feeling that you're enough just as you are. This doesn't mean you stop growing or improving. Rather, your motivation shifts. Instead of trying to be someone for others, you're striving to be the best version of yourself because it aligns with your purpose and your potential. This shift creates a kind of inner sanctuary, a space within you that's immune to external highs and lows. Challenges no longer rattle you as they once did because your sense of self isn't hanging on a thread of external factors. When someone admires you, it's a pleasant experience, but it doesn't define you. When someone rejects you or criticizes you, it doesn't break you because your self-worth isn't reliant on others' approval. This is where true freedom lies, living in such a way that your peace isn't held hostage by anyone's opinion or anyone's presence. Over time, you notice a transformation in how you set goals and priorities. You're no longer trying to fit into someone else's ideal. Instead, you're creating a life that reflects your true values and aspirations. The goals you set are rooted in a desire for self-fulfillment rather than for applause. You might choose to work on skills that enhance your well-being, focus on building a career that aligns with your values, or pursue hobbies that make you genuinely happy. The result is a life crafted with intention, where each action feels meaningful and aligned. There's a beauty in this, in knowing that everything you're doing is for you, rooted in values that you hold dear, rather than in expectations imposed from the outside. Another remarkable thing happens as you let go of the chase. You discover a deep sense of trust in the process of life. Without the pressure to constantly strive for someone else's attention, you begin to relax into a natural rhythm. You start to trust that what is meant for you will come to you and that you're capable of handling anything that isn't. This trust gives you peace of mind, freeing you from the restless feeling that you need to constantly push, prove, or persuade. Life itself becomes less of a competition and more of a journey where you're open to experiences as they come, without the need to control every outcome. This aligns beautifully with Stoic wisdom. The idea that we should focus on what's within our control and let go of what isn't. Living this way also deepens your self-awareness. When you're not distracted by trying to impress others, you have the mental space to reflect on who you truly are, your strengths and areas where you can grow. This self-awareness allows you to address your own flaws without judgment, knowing that growth is a lifelong process. You recognize that, just like everyone else, you're a work in progress. But instead of feeling pressure to be perfect, you feel encouraged by the opportunity to evolve. This compassionate self-awareness builds a relationship of trust and acceptance within, one where you're genuinely at peace with your own imperfections and excited about the possibility of improvement. In detaching from the chase, you also start to live with more courage. You're not afraid to take risks or pursue dreams that align with your heart, even if they seem unconventional. Since you're no longer concerned with how others will perceive your choices, you're free to explore, to fail, and to succeed in ways that are meaningful to you. Courage, in this context, isn't about bravado. It's about following a path that resonates with your values, no matter how different it might look from the one others expect. This courage fuels a life that is vibrant, full of adventure and growth, because you're making choices based on passion and purpose rather than on fear of judgment. With this courage comes a greater sense of resilience. When you're not depending on external validation, setbacks lose their power over you. A failure isn't a reflection of your worth. It's simply feedback, an opportunity to learn and adjust. You become mentally stronger, able to bounce back from challenges without feeling defeated. This resilience is deeply empowering because it means that no matter what life throws your way, you know you can handle it. You've built a foundation within that's so steady, so rooted in your own values, that nothing external can easily shake you. And as you go through life, this resilience makes you feel unstoppable, confident in your ability to face and overcome anything. This path also leads you to a more profound appreciation of simplicity. Without the distractions of the chase, you begin to value the small, quiet moments that often go unnoticed. You find joy in a morning routine, in a walk through nature, in a meaningful conversation. When you're not chasing, you're present, fully engaged in the here and now. You're no longer looking past the present moment, hoping for something better just around the corner. Instead, you find beauty and contentment in what's right in front of you. This simplicity brings a richness to your life that no amount of external validation could ever provide. As you journey further, you become a source of inspiration for others. People notice your calm, your confidence, your sense of purpose, and they're drawn to it. Without meaning to, you become a role model, showing others that there's a different way to live, one that doesn't rely on approval, validation, or the chase. You embody a life of integrity, self-respect, and inner peace. People are inspired by your resilience, your ability to remain calm under pressure, and your unwavering commitment to your values. In a world where so many people are lost in the need for external affirmation, your presence serves as a reminder that true strength and fulfillment come from within. This journey changes the very way you see yourself. You're no longer a seeker trying to fill a void. You're a creator, building a life filled with meaning, purpose and self-respect. You realize that the qualities you've cultivated, discipline, resilience, self-awareness, are the very qualities that create a fulfilling life. You no longer feel incomplete or in need of someone else to make you whole. You're a full, complex individual with dreams, goals, and values that guide you. And because of this, you feel a profound sense of peace, knowing that you are enough, that your life is enough, and that you have everything you need to live with purpose and fulfillment. This transformation continues to evolve, shaping not only how you see yourself, but also how you relate to others and the world around you. You begin to experience a newfound sense of compassion, both for yourself and for others. By letting go of the chase, you've freed yourself from a cycle of comparison and self-criticism, so you no longer feel the need to judge others by arbitrary standards or to compete for validation. Instead, you view others with a sense of empathy, understanding that each person is on their own journey, grappling with their own insecurities and desires for approval. You become more forgiving, realizing that we're all just trying to find our way, and that mistakes and imperfections are simply part of being human. With this compassion also comes a profound sense of gratitude. By shifting your focus inward, you begin to appreciate the countless things in your life that were once overlooked. You feel thankful for your health, for the opportunities to grow, for the chance to learn, and for the relationships that bring genuine connection. This gratitude fills your days with a quiet joy as you start to see life as a series of small blessings rather than as a constant struggle for more. Each day becomes a gift rather than a stepping stone to something better or a means to impress others. You find beauty in what you have, and in doing so, you release the need for more. This state of gratitude also changes how you handle adversity. When challenges arise, you approach them with acceptance and resilience rather than resistance or frustration. You understand that adversity is a natural part of life and a crucial teacher. Without the distractions of external pursuits, you're able to look at difficulties with a clear mind, to assess what you can learn, and to make thoughtful decisions on how to proceed. In place of anxiety, there is calm. In place of frustration, there is patience. This calm, this patience, these are the qualities that allow you to move through life's challenges with grace and composure, knowing that every experience is an opportunity for growth. Moreover, you find yourself building a stronger connection to your values. When you stop chasing, you have the mental and emotional space to reflect on what you truly stand for. Whether it's integrity, kindness, courage, or wisdom, you have the opportunity to weave these values into every aspect of your life. Each decision, each action, each word spoken reflects the principles you've chosen to uphold. This alignment between your values and your actions brings an unshakable sense of integrity. You know who you are, and because of that, you live in a way that is true to yourself. This authenticity brings a quiet confidence that doesn't need to be broadcast, a sense of self-respect that is felt deeply and unwaveringly. Living with this sense of authenticity also changes your experience of success. You begin to redefine success not as something that's measured by wealth, status, or relationships, but by the degree to which you live in harmony with your values. Success becomes a deeply personal concept, a measure of your own growth, self-discipline, and alignment with your purpose. This perspective allows you to pursue goals that truly matter to you, without the need for applause or recognition. You may still aim high and strive to achieve great things, but the motivation is different. It's not about proving yourself to others, but about fulfilling your own potential. Through all of these transformations, you develop a sense of internal abundance. By letting go of the chase and cultivating a life of purpose and integrity, you realize that you have everything you need within yourself. Your self-worth is no longer conditional or dependent on external factors. You feel whole, complete, and fulfilled, not because of what you have or how others see you, but because you've chosen to live in alignment with your values. This abundance gives you the freedom to move through life without attachment, to appreciate things for what they are, and to let go when necessary. You're no longer bound by a fear of loss or a need for more, because you found a deep well of contentment within. And as you continue to walk this path, you notice a ripple effect in your relationships. The people around you sense your inner calm, your authenticity, and your confidence, and they're drawn to it. You find that your interactions become more meaningful and that your relationships deepen. You attract individuals who resonate with your values, who see you for who you truly are, and who appreciate you without the need for masks or pretenses. In these connections, there's a sense of mutual respect, a meeting of equals who support each other's growth. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself in these relationships. Instead, you simply enjoy the richness of genuine companionship, free from superficial expectations. This approach also brings you to a deeper sense of self-trust. By consistently living according to your principles and making decisions that align with your values, you've built a strong foundation of trust in yourself. You know that you're capable of handling whatever life brings because you're anchored in a core of integrity and resilience. This self-trust allows you to face the future without fear, to embrace uncertainty with a sense of adventure rather than anxiety. You're at peace with the unknown because you trust your ability to navigate it with wisdom and composure. Ultimately, choosing to stop chasing allows you to experience a life that feels richer, fuller, and more meaningful. You're no longer a passive participant, swept along by societal pressures or fleeting desires. Instead, you're the architect of a life rooted in purpose, a life defined by depth, integrity, and fulfillment. You find yourself no longer asking, "What do others think of me?" but rather, "Am I living up to my own potential?" This shift is transformative, bringing a level of peace and satisfaction that is unshakable. In this way, you embody the essence of Stoic wisdom, not through grand gestures or dramatic changes, but through the quiet, deliberate choice to live in alignment with your own values, to find contentment within, and to cultivate a life that is truly your own. As you journey deeper into this path of self-mastery, something subtle yet profound happens. You begin to view life as a partnership with yourself. Instead of seeking companionship to complete you, you realize that you are already whole. You become your own ally, someone you trust and rely on, especially in moments of solitude. This companionship with oneself transforms solitude into something beautiful and meaningful. You're comfortable in your own company, finding peace in quiet moments rather than feeling the need to fill the space with external distractions or validations. This shift brings a sense of harmony and stillness, a kind of inner sanctuary that offers comfort no matter what's happening outside. From this self-partnership arises an ability to make decisions rooted in clarity and conviction. Without the constant need to be influenced by others' expectations or to chase fleeting desires, your choices become intentional and meaningful. You begin to say yes only to what truly serves your growth and values, and you confidently say no to what doesn't. This discernment brings an immense sense of freedom because each decision aligns with your authentic self, not the person you feel pressured to be. With this clarity, you're no longer spending energy on things that drain or distract you. Instead, your focus is on cultivating a life that resonates deeply with who you are. And you also notice an unexpected benefit. Your mind becomes quieter. Without the noise of external pursuits or constant overthinking about what others might think, there's a mental clarity that wasn't there before. Your thoughts are focused on your priorities, your growth, and your peace. You're no longer bogged down by comparison or self-doubt, and this mental calmness allows you to approach challenges with a level-headedness and inner strength. This quiet mind gives you the mental space to observe, reflect, and respond rather than react impulsively. Decisions are easier to make, focus is sharper, and you experience a kind of mental freedom that's rare in a world obsessed with external validation. This tranquility within is accompanied by a deeper sense of purpose. Without the distractions of chasing external sources of fulfillment, you can fully explore what genuinely excites and fulfills you. Maybe it's a passion you once ignored, a skill you've always wanted to develop, or a cause that aligns with your values. By stepping away from the chase, you uncover a wellspring of purpose that's rooted in your own values and interests. This purpose becomes a guiding light, giving you direction and motivation that don't waver based on others' opinions. You're living with intention, and each day feels infused with meaning because you're pursuing goals that are deeply significant to you. This life of intention and self-respect also transforms how you experience joy. The joy you find is no longer dependent on someone else's presence or validation. It's a steady, internal joy that arises from living in harmony with your true self. Simple moments become deeply fulfilling, and achievements, no matter how small, carry a profound satisfaction because they're a result of your own choices and efforts. This joy is lasting because it's not conditional, it doesn't fade when others leave, and it doesn't rely on temporary highs. It's a joy that comes from being fully aligned with your purpose, values, and potential. As you continue along this path, you start to feel a greater connection to the world around you. Without the need to constantly chase or compete, you feel a sense of unity with others, recognizing that we're all on our own unique journeys. You develop a compassionate outlook, understanding that everyone is dealing with their own challenges and seeking their own forms of happiness. This compassion allows you to support others without judgment, to celebrate their successes without envy, and to empathize with their struggles without feeling superior. You see the interconnectedness of all things, realizing that when you uplift others, you're contributing to a world that reflects the values you hold dear. In this state of inner peace and contentment, you also develop a sense of gratitude for your journey. You appreciate the moments of struggle, knowing they helped build the resilience and self-awareness that now guide you. Each experience, good or bad, has shaped you, and you're grateful for every lesson learned along the way. This gratitude becomes a part of your daily life, a reminder to cherish each moment, to find beauty in the ordinary, and to live fully in the present. It's a sense of gratitude that brings lightness to your days, allowing you to embrace life as it is, rather than constantly wishing for more. Over time, this journey of letting go of the chase becomes an embodiment of wisdom itself. You realize that true contentment isn't about what you have, who approves of you, or how others perceive you. It's about living with integrity, purpose, and inner peace. You no longer feel bound by society's pressures or others' expectations because you've built a life on your own terms, a life that resonates with your values and fulfills your heart. This wisdom is something no one can take from you, a treasure that grows with each passing day as you continue to live authentically, deeply, and fully. You come to understand that by choosing not to chase, you found a path that is infinitely more fulfilling. It's a path where you're guided by inner principles, grounded in a deep appreciation for life, and driven by a purpose that transcends external approval. You realize that the person you've become is someone of substance, someone who is both content within and a source of light to those around you. This journey isn't just a choice you made, it's a way of being, a life lived with intention, grace, and a quiet power that comes from within. And in this way, you continue to grow, discovering new layers of peace, fulfillment, and wisdom each day, knowing that this path is the truest reflection of who you are meant to be. As you walk this path further, an unexpected realization takes hold. You've cultivated a life of immense inner wealth. This wealth isn't measured by material possessions, status, or accolades, but by a richness in character, clarity of purpose, and resilience. You possess a deep well of resources, strength, wisdom, patience, and self-respect that no external force can diminish. This inner wealth sustains you, offering a sense of security and peace that no fleeting admiration or romantic pursuit could ever match. You realize that everything you need to live a fulfilling life is already within you, and this is an empowering, liberating truth. From this foundation, your sense of freedom grows exponentially. You're no longer bound by the anxieties that used to keep you on edge or the endless cycle of proving yourself. Instead, there's an expansive openness to life, a sense of liberation that comes from no longer being a slave to external desires or validation. This freedom lets you explore, take risks, and follow dreams without the fear of failure or judgment. Each step you take is rooted in a genuine curiosity and love for life, a drive to experience rather than to impress. With this mindset, the world itself feels more alive, and each experience, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity for growth and discovery. This newfound freedom and wealth of spirit make you a magnet for experiences that resonate with your values. You find that the people and opportunities entering your life are naturally aligned with the principles you hold dear. This isn't a coincidence. It's a reflection of the authenticity and confidence you exude. Without even trying, you attract those who appreciate you for who you genuinely are. This leads to relationships that are deep, fulfilling, and based on mutual respect. You find yourself surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you, who understand your journey and walk alongside you without expectation or agenda. With time, your ability to inspire others becomes more evident. The peace, strength, and clarity you've cultivated shine through in your actions, and people notice. Without any need for praise or acknowledgement, you become a role model, someone who demonstrates that fulfillment comes from within, not from external pursuits. You embody a quiet resilience and a wisdom that speaks louder than words. People are drawn to your calm, your confidence, your ability to face life's challenges with grace. They see in you a living example of what it means to live a life of substance, rooted in purpose rather than appearances. This journey also brings you to a place of unshakable self-love. You've let go of the need for others to affirm your worth, and in doing so, you've built a deep respect and love for yourself. This isn't the superficial kind of self-love that seeks admiration. It's a genuine, grounded love based on knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of. This self-love brings a profound peace because you're no longer seeking outside yourself for a sense of completeness. You've come to realize that true happiness, true fulfillment, is found in embracing who you are, in nurturing your growth, and in living in alignment with your principles. In moments of reflection, you see how much you've transformed. The person you are today is a far cry from the person who once felt compelled to chase, to prove, to impress. You've become someone who finds joy in the journey rather than in the destination, who cherishes solitude as much as connection, and who lives with an ease and contentment that can't be shaken by external circumstances. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It's the result of countless small choices, moments of self-awareness, and a commitment to live authentically. And now, as you look back, you realize that every step, every moment of doubt, every lesson learned was worth it, leading you to a life of true freedom, peace, and fulfillment. In this space of profound self-awareness and contentment, you also come to understand that life is constantly evolving, and so are you. While you've found a path that brings immense peace and purpose, you're open to growth, knowing that each new experience will add depth to your understanding and character. This openness allows you to approach life with humility and curiosity, knowing that there's always more to learn, more to experience, and more to become. The journey is never truly over, but each day on this path affirms that you're living in a way that feels deeply right and true. In the end, you've discovered that by choosing not to chase, you've gained everything that matters. A life rich in purpose, grounded in self-respect, and filled with a sense of inner abundance. This is the ultimate reward of your journey, not in what you have or who you impress, but in who you've become. And as you continue to walk this path, you do so with a heart full of peace, a mind free of distraction, and a spirit that radiates the quiet, profound joy of a life well lived. As you continue down this path, a deep sense of harmony begins to permeate your life. You realize that you're no longer moving against the current, trying to swim toward approval or grasp for fleeting satisfaction. Instead, there's a flow, a graceful alignment between your actions, values, and inner peace. Life no longer feels like a struggle or a series of hurdles to overcome for recognition. There's a calm acceptance of what is, and a steady pursuit of what truly resonates with your soul. You understand that every choice, every moment, is a chance to affirm the life you've chosen for yourself. It's a life that feels true, not to others' standards, but to your own, and that brings with it an unshakable sense of fulfillment. With this harmony comes a kind of wisdom that can only be earned through experience. You're no longer swayed by passing desires or superficial distractions. Instead, you're guided by an inner compass that points you toward what's real and lasting. You've come to recognize that genuine happiness doesn't come from the outside, it's cultivated from within. This wisdom deepens your appreciation for everything around you as you see life, not as a series of highs and lows, but as a continuous journey filled with moments of beauty, learning, and growth. You embrace both the joys and the challenges, knowing that each is a vital part of a life lived with purpose and intention. In this space of acceptance and understanding, you find yourself experiencing a profound sense of gratitude, not only for what you have, but for who you are becoming. This gratitude goes beyond material possessions or external accomplishments. It's a gratitude for the resilience you've built, the lessons you've learned, and the peace you've cultivated. You're thankful for the journey itself, for the quiet moments of introspection and the powerful shifts that have brought you closer to your true self. This gratitude fills your days with a gentle joy as you appreciate each step of the way and recognize that every experience, no matter how small, has contributed to the person you are now. This inner peace also brings a newfound openness to life's possibilities. Without the weight of others' expectations or the need to chase temporary pleasures, you're free to explore what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. You might discover a passion for creativity, a love for learning, or a calling to serve others. Whatever it is, you're able to pursue it wholeheartedly, knowing that you're following a path that aligns with your values and feeds your soul. This openness to possibility allows you to live fully, embracing each day with curiosity and wonder, unburdened by the fear of failure or judgment. You're no longer living in a way that's dictated by others. You're creating a life that's genuinely, authentically yours. As you continue on this path, your sense of self becomes clearer, more defined. You know who you are, what you stand for, and what you're willing to pursue. This clarity makes every decision simpler, every goal more meaningful, and every interaction more authentic. You're no longer seeking to fit into anyone else's mold or to be something you're not. You're fully embracing your own identity with all its unique strengths, passions, and perspectives. This clarity allows you to stand firmly in your truth without apology or hesitation. It's a liberating experience to live with a sense of wholeness that isn't dependent on external validation, but on a profound inner alignment with who you are. In this journey of self-discovery and inner peace, you also notice a shift in your relationship with time. You're no longer rushing, no longer feeling pressured to meet arbitrary deadlines or to achieve success on someone else's timeline. Instead, you savor each moment, knowing that every second is an opportunity to live in alignment with your values. You're patient, understanding that life is a marathon, not a sprint, and that true fulfillment comes from a steady, intentional pace. This patience brings a sense of ease and contentment as you no longer feel the need to constantly strive or chase. You're fully present, fully engaged, and fully alive in each moment. As the journey continues, you realize that the rewards of this path are endless. Each day brings new insights, new layers of understanding, and new depths of peace. You've let go of the chase, not just for approval or validation, but for anything that doesn't truly serve you. And in doing so, you've created a life that's rich in meaning, purpose, and joy. This isn't a destination, it's a way of being, a lifelong commitment to live authentically, to honor your values, and to cultivate a sense of peace that isn't dependent on anything or anyone else. In the end, you've discovered that this journey is the ultimate gift, a life of true freedom, fulfillment, and harmony, grounded in a sense of inner peace that only grows deeper with time. Each day, each choice, each moment is a celebration of who you are and the life you're creating. And as you continue forward, you do so with a heart full of gratitude, a mind at peace, and a spirit that's as free and boundless as the journey itself. With each passing day, this journey of inner peace and authenticity becomes less of a conscious effort and more of a natural way of being. You're no longer thinking in terms of what you've left behind or what you've chosen to reject. Instead, you're immersed in what you're embracing. Each moment, each breath, each experience becomes a cherished opportunity to live deeply and intentionally. There's no longing for something else, no sense that life is happening elsewhere or that you're missing out. You're fully here, fully present. And in this presence, you find an abundance that fills every corner of your life. Your focus sharpens on the quality of your days, the small rituals and routines that bring quiet, joy, and meaning. The morning light through your window, a moment of reflection with a warm cup of tea, a meaningful conversation. These become the things that nourish your soul. Freed from the distractions of chasing, you realize that these simple, grounding moments are the true essence of life. You no longer need grand achievements or validation to feel whole. The beauty of each day, no matter how ordinary, becomes your source of inspiration and gratitude. In your relationships, this inner peace has created a new way of connecting. People feel your genuine presence, your calm, your lack of agenda. You're no longer seeing others as pieces to fill a puzzle or a means to prove something to yourself or the world. Instead, each interaction is an opportunity to understand, to listen, and to share from a place of mutual respect. The depth of your connections grows naturally because you're able to meet people as they are without needing them to fit a particular role in your life. This brings a sense of joy and freedom to your relationships as you're fully able to appreciate others without expectations, just as they are able to appreciate the calm, grounded person you've become. Your priorities shift too, becoming less about achieving and more about experiencing. You realize that life is not a checklist of accomplishments, but a journey of exploration and understanding. You're drawn to experiences that resonate with your values and that offer opportunities for growth, joy, and peace. Whether it's exploring a new place, learning a new skill, or spending time in nature, your life is no longer about checking off achievements, but about savoring the richness of each moment. The need to rush fades, replaced by a genuine desire to engage deeply, to be fully present, and to live each experience with an open heart. And through all of this, you cultivate an unbreakable resilience. Because you're no longer tied to others' opinions or external success, you're able to face life's inevitable ups and downs with grace. Challenges no longer feel like threats to your happiness. They're simply part of the journey, another chance to learn and grow. This resilience isn't forced. It's a natural byproduct of living with authenticity and self-respect. You know that your worth isn't shaken by temporary setbacks, and this knowledge gives you the strength to face each challenge with calm and clarity. This inner fortitude is your anchor, allowing you to navigate life's storms without losing sight of who you are or what truly matters to you. Over time, you realize that this journey has led you to a place of profound acceptance. Acceptance of yourself, of others, and of life as it is. You're no longer struggling to change what you cannot control, nor are you fixated on creating a life that fits someone else's definition of success. Instead, you're living with a sense of harmony that comes from embracing both your strengths and your flaws, your joys and your challenges. This acceptance brings a deep sense of peace, as you're no longer in conflict with reality. You're able to move through life with a gentle confidence, knowing that whatever comes, you're capable of facing it with grace. And finally, as this journey unfolds, you come to understand that this way of living is, in itself, the ultimate fulfillment. You're not waiting for something to complete you, nor are you holding out for a future version of yourself. You've come to see that fulfillment is not a destination, but a state of being, one that you create moment by moment, choice by choice. Each day, you're choosing to live authentically, to honor your values and to cultivate peace within yourself. This is the true reward. A life lived in alignment, a heart at peace, and a spirit that's free to explore, to grow, and to experience the fullness of life. In the end, you realize that you haven't just stopped chasing something external, you've found something infinitely more valuable within. It's a sense of completeness, a quiet joy, and a deep, abiding peace that fills every moment with purpose and gratitude. You've discovered the art of truly living, and this, you understand, is the greatest gift you could ever give to yourself. As you settle even deeper into this way of being, you find that your presence has a transformative effect on the world around you. People notice your calm, your joy, your unspoken sense of contentment, and they're drawn to it. You've become a living example of what it means to live authentically, free from the noise of expectations and the constant chase. Without intending to, you inspire others to look within themselves, to question what truly matters, and to consider a path of fulfillment that isn't dependent on external validation. Your journey becomes a quiet invitation for others to reflect on their own lives, to find peace within, and to create a life that reflects their truest selves. In these interactions, you find a new sense of purpose, not one born from the need to impress or prove yourself, but from a genuine desire to be a positive force in the lives of others. You've realized that the peace you've cultivated is something that can be shared, that can ripple outward, affecting those around you in subtle but meaningful ways. Whether through simple acts of kindness, a compassionate word, or a steady presence in times of difficulty, you become a source of support and inspiration for those who cross your path. This contribution to others' lives brings an even deeper sense of fulfillment, as you're now part of something larger than yourself, creating positive change simply by living in alignment with your own values. And yet in giving to others, you never feel depleted. The life you've built for yourself is rooted so firmly in inner peace and resilience that you're able to give freely without sacrificing your own well-being. There's a beautiful balance in your life, an ebb and flow of energy that allows you to nurture both yourself and others. You're no longer concerned with keeping score or measuring what you receive in return. You've discovered that true fulfillment comes from giving wholeheartedly without expectation, and that the joy of contributing to others' happiness is its own reward. This journey also brings with it a deep sense of interconnectedness. You recognize that every person, every experience, every moment is part of a larger tapestry. You feel connected to the world around you in a way that transcends individual achievements or temporary gains. This interconnectedness fills you with a profound respect for life in all its forms and teaches you to move through the world with a sense of humility and reverence. You realize that your life, your choices, and your actions are all part of a greater whole, and this understanding brings an added depth to your existence. In this place of inner peace and connectedness, you find yourself embracing life's mysteries with a sense of wonder. You no longer need to control every detail or have all the answers. Instead, you've come to trust in the flow of life, accepting that some things are beyond understanding. This trust brings a lightness to your days, a sense of playfulness and curiosity as you explore each new experience. The uncertainty that once caused anxiety now feels like a thrilling invitation to discover, to learn, and to grow. You're living with an open heart, ready to meet whatever comes your way, with grace, curiosity, and a spirit of adventure. As you look back on the journey, you're filled with a deep appreciation for every step you've taken, the struggles, the doubts, the choices to let go of what no longer served you. They were all necessary parts of this transformation. You see how each experience, even the challenging ones, has led you to this place of profound peace and fulfillment. You feel grateful for the wisdom you've gained, the resilience you've built, and the person you've become. And as you look forward, you do so with a sense of excitement, knowing that there's always more to learn, more to experience, and more to become. And in the quiet moments, you realize that this journey of self-discovery, of letting go, and of embracing your true self has brought you to a place of unimaginable richness. It's a richness that isn't measured by what you have or what you've achieved, but by the depth of your peace, the strength of your resilience, and the authenticity of your joy. You've discovered a way of living that is its own reward, a life of harmony, purpose, and connection that fills each day with meaning. And this is the essence of a life well lived. Not one filled with constant striving or endless pursuits, but one rooted in the quiet, unshakable knowledge that you are enough, that you have enough, and that each moment is a gift. You found a path that doesn't lead you away from yourself, but brings you ever closer to the person you were always meant to be. And with this understanding, you continue forward, fully present, fully alive, and fully at peace with the journey ahead. As you embrace this path, a profound sense of freedom emerges, a freedom so deep it goes beyond mere independence. This freedom is a release from the burden of expectations, comparisons, and the need for approval. You are no longer confined by what society, others, or even your past self expected of you. Instead, you live guided by your inner compass, moving through life with a spirit of lightness and openness. This freedom empowers you to live authentically, without compromise, and with a genuine love for life as it is, not as it should be. Each day is a gift to be experienced fully, without the weight of anything that no longer serves you. From this state of freedom, a renewed sense of creativity flows, without the constraints of constantly striving to please or meet expectations. Your mind opens up to new possibilities, to the joy of creation for creation's sake. Whether it's exploring a long-forgotten hobby, pursuing a passion, or simply letting your imagination wander, you find yourself alive with ideas, inspiration, and a boundless curiosity about the world. This creativity isn't driven by a need for recognition, but by the pure joy of expression. You become attuned to the beauty in ordinary moments, finding art and inspiration in places you once overlooked. This, too, becomes part of your journey, living with a sense of wonder, open to the endless potential each moment holds. With this new perspective, you begin to approach life with a deep sense of trust. You understand that while you can't control everything, you can control your response, your mindset, and your choices. This trust isn't a passive acceptance, but an active partnership with life itself. You're able to flow with life's ups and downs, meeting each experience with a sense of calm and curiosity. Challenges become opportunities to apply the wisdom you've gained, to test your resilience and to refine your understanding of yourself and the world. This trust frees you from fear, allowing you to live with a heart wide open, embracing each experience for what it offers rather than what it lacks. You also find yourself more deeply attuned to the rhythms of nature and the world around you. As you've let go of the chase, you've become more present, more grounded. You start to notice the subtle beauty in a sunset, the sound of leaves in the wind, or the stillness of early morning. Nature becomes a source of solace and inspiration, a reminder of the simple, enduring truths that underlie all things. You realize that just as the seasons change, so do you, and that each phase of life has its own beauty, its own lessons to offer. In this harmony with nature, you find a deeper connection to life itself, understanding that you are part of something vast and timeless, something that transcends individual desires and pursuits. Over time, you find that this path of inner peace and authenticity has brought you something rare and precious, a sense of wholeness. You are no longer fragmented, pulled in different directions by conflicting desires or social pressures. Instead, there's a unity within you, a coherence that radiates outward into everything you do. You're no longer searching for someone or something to complete you because you recognize that you are already complete. This wholeness gives you a quiet strength, a resilience that can withstand any storm because it comes from within. You're anchored, steady, and grounded, knowing that whatever life brings, you have the resources within yourself to navigate it. And from this place of wholeness, you experience a unique kind of joy, a joy that is subtle, enduring, and unaffected by external circumstances. It's a joy that comes from knowing you're living in alignment with your truest self, that you're honoring your own values and embracing life as it is. This joy is not loud or showy. It's a quiet contentment, a deep satisfaction that fills you from within. It allows you to be at peace with both the highs and lows of life, to savor each moment without needing it to be anything other than what it is. This joy becomes a steady current that flows through your days, a source of light that guides you through any darkness. Finally, you recognize that this journey is one of continual growth. You understand that there will always be new challenges, new lessons, and new depths of understanding. But rather than feeling like you need to reach a specific end point, you embrace the journey itself as the destination. Each day offers a chance to grow, to deepen your peace, and to expand your capacity for love, compassion, and wisdom. There's no rush, no pressure, only the gentle unfolding of a life lived with intention and presence. You're no longer waiting for some future moment to bring you happiness. You've found it here, in the simple act of being fully alive. In embracing this path, you've crafted a life of extraordinary beauty and meaning, a life that reflects the highest expression of who you are. You move forward with gratitude, confidence, and a heart open to all that life has to offer. This is your path, one of freedom, authenticity, and boundless inner peace. And with each step, you continue to deepen your connection to yourself, to others, and to the world, knowing that the journey itself is the greatest gift you could ever receive. As you continue along this path of profound inner fulfillment, a deep sense of reverence for life itself begins to blossom within you. You see that each moment, each interaction, each challenge, and each joy is a precious thread in the rich tapestry of existence. There is no longer a sense of rushing toward an end point or a final goal, but rather an understanding that every experience, whether grand or small, contributes to the depth of your journey. This reverence infuses your daily life with a profound respect for the present, knowing that every moment is both fleeting and sacred. You live with an appreciation for the here and now that was once elusive, recognizing the immense value in simply being. This awareness brings with it a level of humility. You come to understand that despite all your growth and self-discovery, you are a part of something far greater than yourself. You see yourself not as a solitary individual moving through the world, but as an integral part of an interconnected whole, woven together with everyone and everything around you. This humility fosters a sense of compassion and empathy, not just for others, but also for yourself. You're able to accept both your strengths and your weaknesses, your triumphs and your shortcomings, with a kindness that frees you from the harsh judgments of the past. This kindness towards yourself naturally extends to others, making you more understanding, more patient, and more supportive of those around you. The beauty of this journey is that it continually brings you back to yourself, while simultaneously connecting you more deeply with others. You find that without needing to seek validation, you're free to form genuine connections based on mutual respect and shared values. You're drawn to people who resonate with your sense of purpose and inner peace, individuals who appreciate you for who you are rather than what you can offer or achieve. These relationships, rooted in authenticity and mutual growth, bring a richness to your life that goes beyond anything you once sought through external validation. Each relationship becomes a reflection of your inner world, filled with honesty, trust, and genuine affection. In embracing this deeper connection with yourself and others, you also find that you are able to give from a place of abundance rather than need. You're no longer giving to receive something in return, nor are you sacrificing your well-being to meet others' expectations. Instead, your acts of kindness, support, and generosity come from a wellspring of inner peace and fulfillment. This giving enriches both you and those around you, creating a positive cycle of love and compassion that lifts everyone involved. You see that when you give freely from the heart, you're contributing to a world that reflects the values you hold dear, a world that values connection, peace, and kindness over competition and superficial achievement. With this new way of living, you find that even your challenges transform. Life's inevitable difficulties no longer feel like obstacles that disrupt your peace. Rather, they are opportunities to deepen your understanding and resilience. Each challenge becomes a chance to reaffirm your values, to strengthen your inner resolve, and to approach life with greater wisdom and patience. You embrace difficulties with a sense of grace, seeing them as essential parts of your journey rather than as barriers to your happiness. This perspective allows you to move through life with a spirit of adventure, open to whatever comes your way, knowing that you have the inner resources to face it all. There's a unique joy in this openness to life, a joy that is steady, unwavering, and deeply satisfying. This joy is not contingent on what happens around you or what others think of you. Instead, it's rooted in the profound satisfaction of knowing you're living in harmony with your highest self. It's a joy that accompanies you through both the highs and lows, through every twist and turn, because it comes from within. This joy allows you to live each day with a sense of wonder and gratitude, finding beauty and meaning even in the simplest moments. Over time, you realize that this journey has given you the ultimate gift, a life of purpose, peace, and wholeness. You've learned to live fully, to love deeply, and to appreciate everything and everyone around you with an open heart. You no longer feel bound by past fears or future expectations. Instead, you're able to walk forward with a sense of freedom and confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And this knowledge brings a serenity that is rare, a tranquility that comes from knowing that you have embraced life in all its fullness. In living this way, you become a beacon of peace and authenticity for others, quietly inspiring them to find their own path to fulfillment. You show through your presence alone that true happiness doesn't come from the outside. It's cultivated within, through a life lived in alignment with one's own values and purpose. You understand that the journey never truly ends, that each day brings new opportunities for growth, discovery, and love. And as you continue forward, you do so with a heart brimming with gratitude, a mind at ease, and a spirit that is both grounded and boundless, forever open to the beauty and mystery of life. And so, as we reach the end of this exploration, we come to realize that the journey to inner peace and fulfillment is one of continual growth, self-discovery, and authenticity. By letting go of the chase and embracing a life rooted in self-respect, presence, and purpose, you unlock a freedom and joy that no external validation could ever match. It's a journey of true empowerment, where every choice aligns with who you are, and every step brings you closer to a life that resonates deeply within. If you found value in this discussion, let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected and dive deeper into more topics on living a meaningful, fulfilled life.